My my speech is on strengthening marriage relationships through communication. I am majoring in marriage and family studies, and this happens to be my last semester. So I hope to share with you some knowledge that I've gained these last 4 years. I would like to start out with my canning peaches experience. Many years ago, I used to can peaches, and I had this particular year I had purchased a huge box of peaches, but I didn't have time to can them, so I left them on my countertops. And when I did have time to can them, they had become overly ripe. So what do you think I did? That's right, I canned those peaches because I had spent a lot of money on them and I didn't want them to go to waste. And then a couple months later, when I went to open up those can of peaches, what did you think I got? Unripe peaches. I had this faulty thinking that if I had canned these peaches, that they would get better over time, but that was not the case. The same is true with our relationships, especially marriage and family relationships. If we choose not to improve these relationships, such as learning effective forms of communication, what would make us think that our relationships are going to get better down the road? We need to put in our best fruits now and not wait. So what are some good fruits that we can put into our jars to improve our communication skills in our marriages and our family relationships? First, here are some suggestions. First, when your spouse wants to talk to you, remove distractions such as put down your cell phone, turn off your TV, put down your book. This lets your spouse know that you care about what they're going to say. Something that my husband and I do after work is we go to a quiet room, such as our bedroom, and we share our day with each other. This helps us to reconnect after a very busy day and before a busy night. Second, we need to be willing to listen. I love this comic strip between Charlie and Lucy. Charlie says to Lucy, do you think that you are a different person from what you were last year? Do you think that you've really changed? I remember last year you said that you were going to try to be a better listener. And Lucy says, what? I love this comic strip because it demonstrates the difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is very passive, whereas listening is very active. To be an active listener is a compromise of two facets: openness to what the person is saying and interpreting what is being said. Listening is a choice. I am choosing to listen because I love you and I desire to know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So next time your spouse is talking, actively listening to what they are saying. Third, be an empathetic responder. An empathetic responder is one who puts themselves in the other person's shoes. They ask themselves the question, how would I want my spouse to respond to me if I were in this situation? Validate your spouse's emotions by expressing affection for them. Fourth, think and speak positively about your spouse. John Gottman states, just remember that couples who are happily married, they like each other. They simply remind themselves of their spouse's positive qualities while they're grappling with their spouse's flaws so that you can prevent a marriage from deteriorating. The simple reason is that fondness and admiration are antidotes for contempt. Fifth, be willing to maintain confidence. Be worthy of trust, even in trivial matters, and build on that trust. Trust is important with regards to intimacy in a marriage. For the intimacy process to happen, the person who is talking must be willing to become vulnerable by sharing their thoughts and emotions. And the person who listens needs to convey in words and in body language that what their spouse is sharing is sacred and will only be shared between them. Remember that trust is extremely important in a marriage. Research has shown that married couples that do not know how to communicate effectively have struggles with intimacy, conflict resolution, and an overall cohesion in their marriage. By proactively seeking education and understanding effective forms of communication, couples are better able to avoid common marital pitfalls and have more open, successful marriages. I hope that you have learned valuable information to get you started on canning those best fruits in your marriage. Remember that whatever you put into your marriage is what you will get out of it later. Make sure that you put in and seal your best fruits.